Well, hello, YouTubers. Nice to talk to you again. I'm heading up to the cottage. Showing you a little road work as we go along here, but I got about an hour and a half, about an hour and a half to go yet. And we'll get up to the cottage, see what we got. Hopefully the neighbor plowed me, but if he didn't, well, we'll park in his driveway and I'll get out the tractor and I'll plow it myself. So, thanks for coming along for the ride, and we'll talk to you more once we get up there. Totally loaded back here. All the different projects. I don't know if you can see behind me or not, but there's all kinds of different projects behind me that loaded in my vehicle. So when I get up there, I'm going to have a lot of work to do just unloading this thing, let alone getting the work done. If it's a little bit loud, it's because as much as I got loaded, I had to leave the back gate open. I got that tied down. So it makes the wind noise a little pretty loud. But it just feels good to be able to go back up to the cottage. Even though there's a lot of work up there, I enjoy it. Looks like the rain is ending for now, so it was only about 10 minutes worth. We should be at the halfway point in about another 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, we're just about halfway. About another 45 minutes we should be up there. That guy turned off. He was pretty smelly. It was a honey wagon. Well, as long as we're riding, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a history of this cottage. Wife and I were married in 1968, and we did the usual thing. We tent camped for a couple of years, and then our son came along and it was getting harder and harder to do that. So then we bought a camper and we camped for a few years. And then I told her, I said, and she agreed, that why are we spending money at these campgrounds paying somebody else when we could take that money and put it into our own place? So the winter of, I think it was 1984. Yeah, the winter of 1984, I started looking around for some property. And I didn't want to have it too far from my home in Green Bay so that you never wanted to go up there because it was such a long haul. So the first thing I did is I took out a map and I figured out a half an hour, and I circled that on the map. Then I went out to an hour, and then I went out to an hour and a half. And I would have went farther, but there was no need. At the half hour, everything was way out of our price range. Everything. Same thing with the hour from Green Bay. We just couldn't afford it. So I went to the hour and a half, and I had driven truck up to northern Wisconsin for a number of years. And so I started looking in northern Wisconsin. I found this little town of Townsend, which I used to drive trucks through and deliver meat to their butcher shop there, or their store. And so the wife and I came up and we looked around at cottages. Well, there was no way we could afford any of the cottages, even the ones that were totally run down and garbage. We just couldn't afford it. So then we were just about ready to give up, and the guy at the realtor's office says, "Did you ever think about looking at bare land?" And I thought, no, not really, but I'm willing to look at it. The wife says, "I don't know about that. I wanted a cottage, you know." So we decided to go look at it. We found 2 different lots we liked. So I bought an acre and a half on the water, which is a river that goes into the lake, fully navigable. Acre and a half. Of course, I've got neighbors, but I could have picked 2 better neighbors if I would have tried. And I paid $7,500 for this land, for an acre and a half. Excuse me. Now, in today's money, that same lot runs over $100,000. So I think we made a good buy in those days. So then we would come up every weekend. I'd work until Friday night, and then we hop in the vehicle, come back up here on Saturday morning, start cleaning it out, because all it was is woods. There was nothing there. Not a road, nothing. So I met my new neighbors, and they offered to let me park in their driveway while we were doing this. And so on every weekend we come up and we start at the water and we start clearing land. Taking down trees, cutting brush, burning brush, you name it, we did it. So then we brought our camper up. Well, I built a little outhouse because there was no facilities, so I did that about a month after we bought the land, actually. I brought that up all apart on a trailer and assembled it so we had an outhouse. Then we decided, well, we're going to bring the camper up so we have a place to stay, then we don't have to keep going back every night. So we brought the camper up and parked it in there. I had a guy in town push me a road in. So all he did was push the trees over and cut in a road. So we had to cut up all those trees and burn all that brush too. So then we had the camper in there for about 2 years, I think. 2 summers, because the way the laws are here is if it isn't a permanent residence, you don't have to pay tax. But if you leave it on year round, then you have to pay taxes on it. So we pull it out every fall, and then we put it back in every spring. We did that for a couple of years. And then we said we want a little more room. So I went and I looked for a house trailer. And I was just looking for a house trailer. Well, I ended up finding a good deal on a 14 by 60 trailer. Used, of course. So we hauled that up, put that on the land. And I don't know how many years we lived in that. But then in 2005, we decided we got to do something with that trailer, because if we don't, it's going to fall apart. So we made the decision to go to a double wide home. So we bought a Wick home, and I set myself up as the general contractor on it. So I contracted to have a full basement poured, and then I had to get it ready for the house to come in and put all the ledger boards on it and everything. So they brought in the houses, and then they had to put them on with a crane because the garage was in the way. And believe me, cranes are not cheap. But we got the house put on. So then in, I think it was August or September of 2005, we moved into the house. But to get ready for the house coming, that spring, I had to go and demolish the old trailer that was there because it was going to cost too much to pull it out. So I have a small garage, a 16 by 28 garage, that I moved everything I needed from the house into that garage, and that's where we stayed for the summer, in that garage while I demolished the trailer and while we put the new one on and got it all inspected and everything so we could move in. So it was quite a process. Enjoyed it immensely. A lot of long days, but it was fun to do. I don't know if I'd ever do it again now at my age, but it was fun to do. So that's a little history of how this all came about, and I'm going to post a bunch of pictures because we had very few movies in those days. I'm going to post some pictures on how the progression of it was, and I invite you to come back periodically and take a look, and you'll see how we went through this whole process. So until then, thanks a lot. And I just turned onto the road that leads to my place. As you can see, it's a little bit worse shape, but at least it's plowed. Now it's to find out if the neighbor plowed me. If he didn't, well, I'll use his driveway. No big deal. It works out. Snowstorm they had up here, they said they got over 14 inches of snow. It'll take a while to dig out from that. I haven't been up here in just about a month now because of the cold weather and everything that was happening back home. I couldn't get up here, so, and didn't want to because of the cold. But, so it'll be interesting. Hopefully everything is all right, and I have a thermostat that runs on the web. So I turned the heat up while I was at home before it came, and hopefully the cottage will be nice and warm when I get there. Well, we're using my neighbor's driveway. He just got his done, so, or somewhat done. He's still trying to dig himself out, so he didn't plow me. Oh, this is my neighbor's property here, so. He pushed a little lane in anyway, so I can get in. Wonderful. That's all I need. Fantastic. We can take her from there. I wanted to show you what we got when we showed up here. I just started shoveling. I had no place to set the camera now, so the next time you see, I'll probably be in the cottage, but I got to shovel that all out just to get in the door. So it'll be interesting. Well, this is what I got done so far. I thought before I finished I'd like to show you this. This is how much snow we've had up here since I was up here the last time. That was about a month ago. So yeah, that's on my steps.